All right, Pac-12 realignment breaking news. You've probably seen it all over the internet, but here's some quick thoughts about the Pac-12 realignment. Huge, huge news coming out of college football. The whole entire shape of college football is now completely different than we've ever imagined or ever thought it would ever be. Washington, if you're watching this, you're probably, Seattle fan. This is why it's on the Sun Seattle pod. But Washington, Oregon are both leaving the Pac 12 to head to the Big Ten. This changes college football landscape forever. I mean, we used to be a regional sport, right? We know the SEC is the South, and usually like Alabama, Florida, that area of the South. It's gone all the way to Texas and Oklahoma now. And the Big Ten, I know we had, USC and UCLA already moving to the Big Ten, but the Big Ten used to be like that Midwestern conference. Now it's spanning literally the whole entire United States. You have teams in the Northeast Coast, the Northwest Coast, the Southwest Coast. It's just missing literally the South and Florida, which I don't think the Big Ten will ever get to that point where it's going to be that big and span that much ground. But anyway, the whole entire sport has changed. But what does this mean for the University of Washington? Well, the University of Washington now is obviously going to the Big Ten. This is going to change rivalries with like Cal, Stanford, Oregon State. Those teams will probably never play again after this year. What does it mean for the Apple Cup? Well, I think pretty simply the Apple Cup is going to exist forever. I don't think the Apple Cup is going to go away. I don't think the whole notion of being out of the Pac-12 means no more Apple Cup. I think just like Notre Dame plays USC every single year, UW will play Washington State every year. That's going to stay alive. That tradition will not go away. But what does it mean for a team like Wazoo? And I'm a Washington Husky fan, but you can't ignore the fact that Wazoo is getting kind of screwed over here. The Pac 12 is going to keep Wazoo, I bet. I don't think they're going to the Mountain West. I think San Diego State joins the Pac 12, Boise State joins the Pac 12. We're going to have more of a Pac 10. We'll probably go back to the Pac 10, have 10 teams, but the Pac 12 will be a 10-team conference. And I think a team like Wazoo and Oregon State will dominate that conference year in and year out. I don't know if that means it's a Power Five conference. I don't know what that will mean for implications of college football playoffs. College football is going to go up to 12 teams. The college football playoffs, that is going to go up to 12 teams. So in general, this might mean that, Oregon State and Washington State, if they win the Pac 10, will be part of that 12-team college football playoff on a regular basis. Maybe that means it's better for recruiting. I think college football in general is going to become a sport that is going to be more about the long term, how do I say this? The long term playoff rather than kind of like the NCAA tournament in college basketball, rather than a comfling something like, how do I explain this to you? More than like a what matters during the regular season. It's going to become more of a postseason sport like college basketball. What does this mean in college basketball terms? Well, Washington's also going to be playing in the Big Ten, and basketball's in the Big Ten. The teams are going to be a lot different. The field's going to be a lot different. But overall, if you're Washington, which I am, Washington's fan, this means in general that we have to accept this fact that we're going to be in the Big Ten, which also means we had to take this deal. Being part of a Pac 12, a dying conference, was not going to be an option. I think Washington did the right thing here. I think Washington knew that they couldn't stay in the Pac 12 despite probably wanting to stay in the Pac 12. Oregon, Washington, two biggest schools, probably left in the Pac 10 after, or Pac 12 after UCLA and USC left. So it was a natural move. I'm going to miss the Pac 12, but overall, what do you guys think? Is this a good move for the Washington Huskies or not?